I was starting to think it was never going to come in. If there's going to be some squish, because you can cut some of this out, but there's no way you're going to be able to take a 1/4 inch off of it. Let me tell you guys that right now. So it came with, let's just, I know a lot of you guys want to see the quality and all that, but I already knew just looking at it because I counted the fins. And the fins had more fins than a regular cylinder. And then when I measured mine was about 34 millimeters the stroke, maybe a little bit more, 35 at the most. And Novice Lumberjack said his was like 36 millimeters on his proyama. Hey, how's it going, everyone? Brainiac Productions here, 357 Saw Shop. My name is Chad, for you guys that don't know. Got another Joncutter video. I finally got my proyama cylinder, and it was pretty great quality. I'll put a video of me, I'll link that in, or I'll add me opening that cylinder and all that. That's all it came with. It came in another box, but that's all it came with right there. It came with really nothing you need. I mean, it came with the cylinder and all that stuff, and I'll show you guys exactly. It came with a cylinder just like that. The piston was inside of it, and it came with rings and you know, like some retention holding pins, or I forget what those are called. But without a further ado, let's get into this. So I put it all together just for looks. The squish is ridiculously high. And I knew that getting into this because I measured about 32 millimeters on the squish, maybe a little bit more, 33 at the most. It might be a little bit more, 34, because it's hard to get an exact measurement the way I was doing it. And then Novice Lumberjack came up with 37 millimeters on his proyama 68cc. This spark plug sticks straight up, which is a problem. Let's get this out of the way. Air filter is not the one it came with. That was a modification. I was trying to get it all kind of fancy dancy. But so that doesn't line up. You'll have to drill a hole there, no big deal. My thing was I was just gonna run it with no I was just gonna put this on and run it just like this, guys. I don't see the problem. I was gonna put my spark plug in, and obviously, and feed that through and all that. This one might not be long enough anymore, to be honest with you. So, what is the problems here? There really is no problems, guys. Only solutions, right? There's no problems, only solutions. So, this lid here sits up about, I'd say about a 1/4, almost all the way around. Look at that. So after you cut the base, that shouldn't be a problem anymore. But that doesn't mean it won't touch your plastic and burn it. So what are you guys gonna do about that? Me, nothing. Because I haven't gotten to that point yet. But I'll probably just put some thermal tape in there, maybe like some aluminum tape. And yeah, the squish is over 370 thousandths of squish. So still trying to figure out exactly what to do about that. Spark plug will work, not a problem. You guys can use all that. Your spark plug shouldn't be a problem. Your carb might be a little small if you run this like this, but I don't see any problems. Everything works though, you know, as it should. I got throttle. The piston goes up and down. The holes all line up. The exhaust deflector lines up. Everything is going to work out good. Everything is on the exact same angle. Even your intake elbow angle is the same. Your mounting for your exhaust is the same. It is all exactly the same. You'll be able to use all your gaskets. The case is a little different. You might have to match up the case on the bottom half. So take that into consideration. And I think you'll have to cut the base. I don't know, I'll start with like an 1/8 on the base. This way you can still have something to, you still want to have enough metal to where your screws or your bolts will be able to catch still. And then my guess is you're going to have to machine the rest of what you need out of the case. So it's going to have, you're going to have to put this in a, you're going to have to put this in a mill somehow, and you're going to have to mill it. How accurate will that be? I guess if you have a mill that's big enough to where you can just do one pass, I think that would be the more accurate than, you know, doing 3 or 4 cuts. But when I looked at my CS590, that took multiple passes, so I don't think it's a big deal if you gotta have that happen. That's about it, guys. That is the problems you will run into. Then after you cut all that, this probably won't exactly line up, but I think you could just cut this bottom like lip off, I don't know, about 1/4 inch off of your exhaust, and that'd be good. You guys could just drill new holes and move them up, you know what I mean? Or you could just use this as a mount, these two, and that's good enough for me, dude. So let's try to get some close up here. It's a longer video, I know, guys, but whatever. There's going to be a part 2 of this video. I really wanted to run the saw today, but it isn't going to happen, clearly. And it is what it is, guys. But I'm still, I didn't think it was even, I didn't think nothing was going to mount up, bolt up. I thought the holes were even going to line up. I was starting to pull my hair out after a while, but once it got here and I looked at it, I was pretty ecstatic because everything was lining up. Like I thought that was gonna be hitting there, but that ain't even hitting there. So we're pretty good, guys. I might order the 62cc cylinder because that has an angled one back this way. And if I drop that in, that'll be actually a pretty good improvement from this. But I really want to get this 68cc cylinder working. I probably need a different carb because it's just a junky carb to begin with, but it's not horrible. It holds a tune. It's just not big enough, I think. This is a great air filter. Those are all the air filters I always use on all my saws if I can, because they're only like 10 bucks. I'm trying to modify one to get it to work for the C90s. This way it's just a drop in. As you guys can see, it's still in there. Like if you want to do it that way, I can do a video for you guys and show you guys how to do that, because that actually works out really well for what it is, you know. It holds in. It's pretty much the same exact, it's all the same. The only thing that's different is this, and obviously the air filter housing, or the air filter kit. But all right, guys, and I have a question for some of you guys with the machines. You're gonna need you're definitely gonna need a mill. So if any of you guys are watching this video and you want to mess around with the saw, let me know. You're gonna need to cut the cylinder, and then you're gonna need to cut the base, or you're gonna need to cut the case, no doubt. There's no way around it, because you will not be able to remove enough material. If you could just take off 1/8 and that's good enough, like I say, it's with 65 thousandths of squish. But if you're that close, you might as well just take off another 3 thousandths, you know. So that's the 68cc cylinder on these Zenoah clone saws. It will work out. It's just going to take some machine work, and for you guys that think it's just a drop-in, it ain't that. So hopefully this answers a lot of you guys' questions. I know I've had a lot of guys messaging me about this saw, and it's not a simple one. I was hoping it was going to be just a drop-in type of situation, but I already knew they used a different crankshaft. I had a feeling they used it. I knew they used a different crankshaft on the proyama 68cc cylinders. And there's a huge chance it might even be different on the 62cc cylinders. And the only ones that are probably the same is the 4500s and the 5500s, guys. I'll try to get it going, and this way you guys can see exactly what you need to do. But for right now, all I can see is it just needs to be cut and maybe a different carb. But it will be coming in a later video. Thanks for watching, guys.